We are streaming live on 10 Tampa Bay Plus, and yes, we've got a weather impact alert keeping you informed, prepared, connected, and calm. And we look outside right now, it's calm from Sarasota to Bayshore Boulevard to Clearwater Beach. You know, we've been watching the sky since before sunrise this morning here at 10 Tampa Bay because we do have a weather impact alert, as you see on the screen. But yeah, the line is taking its time getting here. It's still going to rain, and I know it's been a quiet day, but we said it would not be a washout, and most of the storms for Tampa, Hillsborough, Pinellas and Pasco County would be after 4 o'clock. So things are on track for that. But if you look to the north, we're starting to see some subtle changes. You look toward Port Richey, we've had some wind gusts of 40, 45 miles per hour already. In fact, the National Weather Service here showing some wind gusts up near 47 miles per hour, 2 miles northwest of Feather Sound in Pinellas County. And that's outside of thunderstorms. So that wind, very impressive. And that's why we have to watch this line of storms as it moves through. We got a lot of wind energy, hurricane force wind gusts just up aloft, not too far up in the atmosphere, and a lot of times you can get some of that higher wind, that energy that's dragged down to the surface. So right now we don't have any severe weather warnings, but technically we are still under a watch, a tornado watch for 2 of our counties, especially Hernando County and Citrus County, officially until 3 o'clock. We'll talk more about that. But what I'm watching here is, yes, a line of storms taking its time getting here. That has allowed us to heat up to near 80 degrees, currently 79 in Tampa, to 80 and a dew point in the low 70s. So we're watching these dew points, and usually you see low 70s for dew points when you get into May and June. It's almost like a clash of seasons, a little taste of summer today with that humidity, and then by tomorrow we're talking wind chills again, and maybe even some 40s by Tuesday morning. So it's going to be a little wild ride. And in between, we've got that line of showers, the storms moving through. So our current conditions out there, hey, we're not just warming up near 80 degrees in Pinellas. I mean, we're talking about 86 in Bartow. These areas now, Sebring 89, that could hit 90. Not going to see much rain with this system. Just keep that in mind. You have a weakening line of showers and storms. So we'll keep an eye on these areas, but everybody's going to cool down over the next 24 hours. Up toward Brooksville, 81, Crystal River, 79. Still dry, but as we look at the overall picture here, we do have officially a tornado watch, which means we're watching things carefully. The atmosphere is still very primed for possible isolated severe weather, but all along the thinking was your big corridor for severe weather would be from I-10, Interstate 10 in North Florida and the First Coast to the north, and that's where we've seen the warning so far today. So it's worked out and it's been verifying. But we're not done yet. You never let your guard down with nature. We look at the big impact, and we were talking lightning safety rules this morning on 10 Tampa Bay for good reason. So we got our severe weather tower out here. And one thing I noticed, you know, you have all these slew of warnings and discussions from the National Weather Service and the SPC, or Storm Prediction Center. Not much about lightning. Okay, eventually one day maybe we'll have some lightning warnings, and if I was issuing a warning, it would be for lightning today. So Gainesville, just offshore areas of Hernando County, Citrus County, and then Central Florida, we're watching a vigorous line of storms in the form of mainly a lightning producer. So if you add up all the lightning strikes over the last hour, it's averaging out to about 4,000 lightning strikes per hour. So right now this is the #1 weather impact for us with this system. And we're also watching, some downpours. Okay, so you see the bright red reflectivity, the orange reflectivity here as it works off to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And again, as we look at the storm tracker, taking its time. So just to the north of Tampa and Hudson, we're talking about areas like Inverness. Okay, we're talking about areas like Crystal River. Areas down to the south toward Hernando County, our friends in Brooksville. We're watching you. You'll start to see some of the rain and some gusty winds coming in between 2 and 3 o'clock. So keep that in mind. As we look at the storm energy, so we come over here to our severe weather tower. Not getting any warnings with that line coming toward our nature coast, but still Weather Service is talking about the possibility of maybe a water spout, and that's the activity that we watch carefully, because as we know here in West Central Florida, sometimes those water spouts can spin up and then move toward land as a brief tornado. Okay, I'm not seeing that right now. So we look at the storm energy, okay, and kind of look inside the storm. So what I'm looking for is some brighter reds. You see the red flash there briefly, but then it just kind of weakens as it moves towards shore. So the overall trend, even though we've got a possible water spout offshore, is not for a strengthening line at this time. Again, I'm seeing lightning and downpours as our main 2 things. So looking through the storm right now, again, we'll keep an eye on the coastal areas, because if we do see that isolated tornado, it would be along the nature coast. But right now, based on the storm energies, not seeing any imminent threat at this time. So here's our big 3. Okay, so our weather impact alert, it's until 8 o'clock. All right, there may be even some lightning in the area till about 9 o'clock with this line slowing down. So we've got meteorologist Colleen Campbell here, and she's going to break everything down for you this evening. James is here as well. He's great. So as our weather team's looking at the impact, still lightning is my big one. Still 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. I won't rule out because we've already had 40 to 47 mile per hour winds without thunderstorms. Okay, so we'll watch that. Downpours, we're going to need to stream 10 Tampa Bay plus and turn on those weather alerts. Could still see an isolated severe thunderstorm warning or two. For a severe thunderstorm warning, officially you need 58 mile per hour winds. Maybe could see that. All right, we take a look at our next 12 hours. This is some of the fresh data in, and boy, things have backed up a little bit. So it still looks like we're getting some rain and some thunder across the area. We're saying after 4 o'clock in Tampa, but it may be closer to 6, 7, 8 o'clock where you see the 80% chance of rain there with the thunder and lightning for Tampa as those temperatures start to cool down. Highest wind gusts, this hasn't changed much still. It looks like, yeah, we're watching that line as it comes ashore, and you see the wind gusts of 36 towards Zephyr Hills, near 40 miles per hour toward Brooksville, so no big change on this map here. And then the farther south you go, we're talking about wind gusts a little closer to 30, 35 miles per hour. And then as that front moves through tonight and overnight, you see a wind shift here to the northwest, and that's going to really bring in a little taste of winter. Hard to believe I said that, but yes, a little bit of a clash of seasons going on with a vigorous area of low pressure that caused that big tornado outbreak over the last couple of days across much of the country, from Missouri to Mississippi and Alabama. And you can see right now it's winding up and heading north. If there's good news for us, is we don't have the same ingredients in place for a big tornado threat at this time. We never did have that big tornado threat, okay, as we've been talking about the last couple of days. But what we are watching, though, is this line of showers and storms with plenty of lightning and downpours moving our way. And as that low pressure that caused all that severe weather the last couple of days moves to the north, so does a lot of the lift, the support in the atmosphere, so to speak, for this squall line. So notice, we're in a level 2 severe threat out of 5. But that line becomes a bit disoriented and disorganized as the farther south and southeast that it moves. So as we zoom in, notice the strongest storm still expected to be I-4 north. That does include all of Pinellas County up to Tampa, Lakeland right on the edge there, and it still looks like the 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts, lightning and downpours is my big 3. The farther south you go, level 1 out of 5 risk as that big low pressure pulls to the north. Line becomes stretched and it weakens as we head through the evening hours. So things should quiet down pretty rapidly after dark, even though we've got a slower movement on this line of showers and storms. So our weather impacts county by county. We've been tweaking it here and there through the day, but really it's been about the same the last couple of days. Okay, so maybe a little slower on the movement for Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco County. Most of those storms between 2 and 5 o'clock. There's our biggest wind impacts. Yeah, we could see an isolated severe thunderstorm warning. We got 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, lightning, and a low tornado risk. We'll always watch the coastline here in West Central Florida. Need to know, we're streaming here, and we're going to secure any property that needs to be, bundle up some of those loose belongings outside. As we go to Pinellas and Hillsborough County, we've had some wind gusts already over 40 miles per hour, maybe pushing 50 miles per hour in that line, that squall line as storms moving through. Lightning and downpours are big too, so I know a lot of folks are enjoying all the festivities out at St. Pete today. All right, we got the Reggae Fest, and I know we got a big parade on Anna Maria Island. I think we'll get the St. Patty's Day parade in just fine. But again, once we get toward 5, 6 o'clock, things could change in a hurry. So you see the line of showers and storms moving toward Manatee and Sarasota counties between 5 and 9. And notice I kept the winds a little bit lower, but still something to watch. 25 to 40 mile per hour winds with lightning as my main threat, along with that brief downpour. As we look toward areas of inland, toward Lake Wales, Lake Placid, some of the newer models, new information is saying, yes, these areas could still see some thunder, okay? Could see a little bit of lightning in here and some gusty winds as we head into later this evening. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We'll be watching this even after dark tonight. But again, once you head toward Polk, Hardy, DeSoto, and Highlands County, likely your best chance of rain looking like it's going to be just after sunset, all right? And then things will quiet down as we head toward midnight. Latest Futurecast, this hasn't been doing the best job today, although it has slowed down, so it's starting to catch up to reality at this point. And as you look at 6 o'clock on Futurecast, really showing the heaviest rain for most of us, it looks like, as we head into Pinellas, Pasco, parts of Hillsborough County, seeing some of the deep reflectivity there with those gusty winds. And then it just kind of goes, very disorganized line, and as it moves off to the east and northeast as we head toward midnight. And really it's losing the daytime heating, given some of the instability, and as once we lose that daytime heating, things should start to stabilize in the atmosphere, and at the same time that front will move off to the east, taking a lot of that moisture with it. So again, by midnight, quiet, temperatures near 70, and then that's a chilly wind heading our way for St. Patty's Day. So we may have to do a little Irish jig to stay warm, because we go from 82 today, all right, with our gusty thunderstorms for Tampa as we head to late day and early evening, to 68 degrees for tomorrow. So we'll have some morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, high pressure building in, 7-day forecast. Here we go, and we've got that weather impact alert as we finish out our Sunday. Yeah, windy Monday, chilly winds, 68 degrees, so a little corned beef and cabbage keep you warm out there, maybe a little shepherd's pie kind of weather. And then Tuesday, after some chilly 40s, we got to get back to some beach weather. It's spring break. We'll see that by Wednesday. A little other front coming late week with a slight chance of rain, cooling us back down into the 70s.